What's going on, beautiful people? Hope everyone's doing well out there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Big Red Leads, getting you and your business back to the block. Now, you are the business, man. I gotta get some more of that. That's delicious. All right, let's jump right into this. Something's weighing on my spirit, and since we're talking about something weighing on my spirit, I'm going to speak to you today, and hopefully, I speak to your spirit. Feel this in your soul. It's about to be checkmate. Red, what are you talking about? Okay, let's start with. We like to talk about money here on this channel. We like to talk about life. We like to talk about personal growth and development. You are a human being. That means you should be practicing good humanitarian works. At the same time, understand being a human, hello humans, that you are flawed. We're all flawed. How many people in your life that you might be dating, just seeing, going out and meeting people, how many of those people that you develop a connection with and you present your shortcomings, your flaws, not a year down the road, not 6 months down the road, but up front. The quote unquote good and the bad, that is you. Like, do you have a temper? Um, do you lie about little things? Do you, young men, do you stand on your wallet when you meet women? Are you out here tricking? Ladies, do you come as your representative when you meet a man? Everyone wants to put their best foot forward. I understand that. However, when it comes to your spirit, your energy should meet the other person's energy before you come into physical contact with each other. Now, with the Western world going the way it is, understand we have been programmed to be dumb. Those stupido. Like Sydney. Stupid. Why? Well, there's several reasons why, but the real reason why is they're dumbing us down to make us fall in line. Now, I've never been one to involve myself with groupthink. Understand, you should think for self. You should be self reliant. You should have self esteem. Self comes first. If you know yourself and you meet someone, you are meeting them. You are meeting a reflection of you. Shout out to Zoe Williams. Everyone out here, I see it on TV shows, I see it all over the place. Zoe Williams said that first. Matter of fact, it's in one of his books. Let's start there. There's that. The relationship dismount, I believe. Give people the credit when you get something from somewhere and you use it. Now, with that being said, with rent going sky high, mortgages are going through the roof. We are due for a financial crash any day now. This isn't going to be all gloom and doom, but understand your spirituality is what is needed in this space. What spiritual practices do you have in place? Everything else is regimented in your life, and I'm not talking about you going to church once a week or going to mosque. What spiritual practices do you have in place? Do you pray for people other than yourself and your family? When's the last time you did that? Now, At the same time, the world wants us to be involved in groupthink. Also, it's also the opposite and flip side of that. They want you to function as an individual and not as a group when it comes to moving things forward. I'm not telling you to join a group, I'm not telling you to join an organization, but you can support each other, support an organization. You don't have to be affiliated with everything out there. We have been too caught up in the nonsense of being collectively moving in this direction, which is not necessarily good for us. The populace, or the population of the planet, especially in the Western world, has been so joined at the hip that I got to get mine, hopefully you get yours. Who is really looking out for their fellow man? This is why humanity is so important. This is why practicing these things. You hear it and see it all the time on your social media feeds or on television. It's nothing but nonsense, fake reality shows, just bombarding you with stupidity. So why do we continue to engage in it? Are you trying to reach divinity, divine status of oneself? My great grandmother told me I had an old soul. She's like, baby, you are here to do something and finish up what you started. I had no clue what she was talking about when she said that to me when I was 15 years old. I had no clue. I understand it now. Are you searching and moving in purpose? You're going to make mistakes. You're going to continue to make mistakes. Understand, you are a work in progress. We all are. Do you want to continue to be a commoner? I'm tired of hearing people saying I'm extraordinary. Oh, you're ordinary? What's a little extra? What does it mean? How about be extraordinary? It's a little play on words. But as technologically advanced as we are so far behind spiritually. It's about to be checkmate. All those movies that we watched not that long ago talking about these things. Look at The Terminator. That was written by a sister, by the way. Look at The Matrix, also written by a sister. Understand, we are caught up in the Matrix, thinking that if we can get to a certain level, everything will be sweet. When in fact, if your spiritual level isn't in place, if your spiritual technology, which is all within you, isn't intact, it'll be short-lived. Like, Red, what are you talking about? I've had that question asked me so many times. Here's the thing. You'll go out and spend $1,300-$1,400 on a cell phone and only know how to use 5 features on it. Now, how about your spirit? How much does that cost? And do you know how to operate it properly? If Spirit was an app, and I'm not talking about the airline, if Spirit was an app, we'll just use the United States. How many users would be on it? You are a spirit having a human experience. Let's see. I know I got 1 or 2 of them around here somewhere. I don't know. They're in the living room. I know what I'm looking for, but If you are a spirit having a human experience, shouldn't you be trying to reach the highest level of your spirituality? Or are you too busy caught up in everything else? And I get it. The people who designed this matrix, who built this matrix, they built it a certain way so that you would get caught up in worrying about having to take care of everyday bills. How am I going to get these kids to college? How am I going to make this car payment? Most people make just enough to get by. And if they're lucky, they have a little bit of savings. Maybe a 401k or something. But here's the thing. You put your money there, but do you know how it really operates? So, if there was a spirit app, would you know how to operate your spirit? I want you to think about that as you move around in this world. Your world. Because most people don't leave once they get settled as an adult. They don't leave within 5 miles of where they are. Not for real. Everything is regimented down to your diet, your exercise routine. But you have nothing in place for connecting and being a part of the human family. Not for real. You say you do, but not for real. So I gotta watch Housewives. So I gotta watch what the Kardashians are doing. Really? Oh, you know I got to get my Disney Plus on. The Mandalorian's coming on. Have you prayed today? Too busy and too content with the lowest level of everything that is for you. Your happiness is at its lowest level if you achieve it at all. Honor, you barely touch it. Integrity, and most people's integrity can be bought with a Cash App. You're willing to go through trainings at your job. You're willing to do all that. But what are you doing for your spirituality? It's about to be checkmate. AI is about to take over, and people think that it's going to be sweet and well, we can do this. We can remix songs of artists who have passed away and put them on this track and this beat, and that everything is sweet. Really? Think about it like this. Think about the millions of people who will be out of a job who happen to work in the fast food industry, restaurant industry, warehousing, forklift operators. Think about all those millions of people who will be out of work. Where are they going? And the older you are, the less likely you are to pick up a new technology. You seen Terminator? How'd that end? Or better yet, how did it end up? Not good for us. Not good for humans. We don't even respect Mother Nature. We're too busy playing God and playing with the weather patterns. How is it burning up in New York and it's cool in California? It's May. Explain that. Please explain that. Somebody please explain that to me. And if you're not catching what I'm saying, think about where you live. If you live in the United States, your weather, depending on where you live, you have seasons. Are the seasons out of whack for you? They have been for me for several years. And I've lived on every coast, including the Fifth Coast. Shout out to Texas. The Fed is about to take over everything involving Bitcoin. They're suing them now. So, you're not growing your own food. Food prices are shooting through the roof. And on top of that, most of the food and the water is contaminated with chemicals that would not be shipped or could not be shipped to other parts of the world, even if you paid them to take the products. We're not going to be poisoning our people. That's what a lot of these other countries are simply saying. Since when did candy? Now, I know there's been chemicals in candy for many years. But since when did candy... I'm in my 40s. Most of my people who are close to my age will understand this. Do you remember when candy started tasting different? That's when they started messing with recipes. Now, I wasn't old enough when they were putting Coke in Coca-Cola. But I do know when Pepsi took the real sugar out of their soft drinks. I'm just saying. It's not cool to be big and out of shape. Ladies, gentlemen, we have to get it together. You do all these other things for things that people suggest might be bothering you, but yet you don't have enough love or self-love to recognize and forgive yourself for the mistakes that you've made. This is where self-esteem comes into play. Knowing thyself. And then you wonder why the world is crazy. It's not crazy. It's doing what it does because a lot of this is based on programming and people being poisoned. Get it together. We have to get it together, family. I can't emphasize this enough. Sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy because I see it. If the news says this, listen to the message underneath the message, or the message behind the message. People don't research anymore. Oh, you'll Google something, or you look up a YouTube video on it. I'm talking about actual research. Go more than 3-4 levels deep on a subject matter, so that you have a better understanding of it. And how is this going to affect my family? How is this going to affect me? How is this going to affect how I eat? How is this going to affect how I provide for everyone in my household? How is this going to provide for my family and close friends? Or are we all getting together and doing some nonsense? You have all these family functions and you don't get together and talk about some real organization and getting some things in place. I know a few big families, like big families, they get together and they pray together. And things happen. You got enough people praying for you and putting things in place. Like, yes, action needs to take place behind the prayer. At the same time, if you got enough good energy flowing your way for positivity and positive things to come your way, the chances of it happening are more than likely. We're in check right now. It's about to be checkmate. It's over. It's over. Hasta la vista, baby. I'm gonna get off here before I start cursing. Like, share, definitely subscribe to the channel. You don't have to like. You don't have to like me. Listen to the message though. Get your spirituality in order. You are a human. That means you should be walking and understanding and have a deeper understanding of how humanity really works. Love you all. And I say that because I mean it. I don't tell everybody I love them. Love you all. Have a great day. Get that spiritual app called Your Spirit moving and use it. Don't you go out and buy another $1,400 phone. Have a great day, my friends. Love you all. Peace.